You know, when a woman doesn't let her kids see the father, who does it really hurt, right? Because maybe she thinks it hurts the father, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hurt him. But really it hurts the kids, because my kids love me, and I love them, and we can't be together. We can't even talk on the phone. I'm paying for a phone line for them. She doesn't put the chip in the phone, and once in a while, they'll send me WhatsApp. I think my son probably does it on his own. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna be all right, I think. But what about them? You know, they're growing up with this. Like, why? They don't understand. Why can't I see my dad? Why can't I talk to my dad? Why can't they don't, you know, they're too young to understand the politics behind their relationships. So to them, it's all or nothing, and they have nothing. And at the end of the day, whether it be because of she wants financial things or material things, or to punish, you know, the father, at the end of the day, the kids are the ones being punished, and they're growing up now with this trauma that they didn't really need in their lives. There's people that their dad is dead. They wish they had their dad. They can't have him. And there's dads out there that leave and just forget about the kids. And then there's dads that are not that. They're just, the mother makes it so difficult. So difficult. They want you to give up. They want you to be in pain. They want you to hurt. And I am, but the kids are the ones being hurt. They're the ones, they don't understand. And they probably never will. And they're going to grow up, and they're going to have all sorts of issues in their own adult lives because of this. And when you think about it, it's like, why, if a father is fighting to see his kids, why should it be so hard? Shouldn't it be like making it 2 times as easier for him? Oh, you want to see the kids? Yeah. You want to have a relationship with them? You want to talk to them every night? You want to be involved in their school? You want to be involved in their birthdays? You want to take them to see their family? My kids are half Puerto Rican, so they're growing up with just purely their Mexican culture, which I support. I want them to know their Mexican roots and where they're from and all of that. But they also have other roots, you know, that they're going to one day wonder, you know, they have a grandma, grandpa, they're from a completely different place with a different cultural background, and they deserve to know why they look the way they look. They deserve to know their lineage, their identity is important, and they're taking them from that hurts them. And what I told the mother of the kids, Osile, which I have no problem tagging her and letting her know, I don't care what happens. You know, you see my car window back there? I don't care. I'm not afraid of whatever threats or whatever indirect threats or whatever messages she sent with, oh, you know, don't care. I don't care. I'm not afraid. Why? Because I think I got to a place, a dark place, not long ago, where I considered taking my own life, you know, and I survived that. And because of this situation, you know, it was a dark place that now I'm like, if I survive that, if I survive myself, the person with the most access to me, I'm not afraid of what happens, you know. Like, it's almost like you become mentally invincible and don't care. And I want to document all of this because I want my kids, if one day I'm ever not here, and one day I'm not going to be here, we're all not going to be here, but if one day I'm ever not here, I don't want them to ever doubt that they were important, at least to me, and that they were loved. But it doesn't have to be this way, you know, but egos, pride. I have no idea. I can't call what the problem is. And I don't want, I just, it all started, I bought some plane tickets and to see my mom for her birthday. My mom's getting older, and I'm like, you know what? It's important my kids have a relationship with my mom. They don't get to talk to her on the phone because my ex, she has her blocked. She don't want my sister, none of my family to talk to the kids. I said, okay, well, let me take them. It's like a week on a trip to celebrate my mom's birthday. And she's like, no. I'm like, what? She's like, I don't trust you. What are you talking about? I took care of these kids all of their lives. And I don't trust you. And she said, I don't want them to see your mom. I'm like, this is my mom. Like, I don't have a problem with them seeing anybody in your family. I support that. I encourage that. She's like, no, but because your mom's going to do witchcraft on them. What? You know what I mean? Like, how do you argue with that? There is no argument. Witchcraft? And she's like, oh yeah, and you're mentally unstable. Let's back up and let's not put these two things in the same sentence, because you can go from accusing someone to possibly do a magical spell on these kids to now it's because I'm mentally, like, the fact that you mentioned witchcraft shows where the mental instability is at. But beyond that, let's say my mom was going to do witchcraft on them, like to harm them. Like, what is she going to do? To me, whatever excuse fits in people's heads makes sense to them. And in reality, you can't even move forward from that. You cannot have a comprehensive, analytical, intellectual conversation after someone says something like that. And that's where I'm at. Then I wake up and then my car is shot up. I'm not saying she did it. I would never accuse her of doing that herself. But you start putting things together and you're like, all these things start adding up. And I'm also documenting all of that because if something ever happens to me, I think she should get some questions asked. I'm just putting it out in the ethers, in the ether out there. So, but fathers that want to see their kids shouldn't have to fight to see their kids. Not because of any reason, not because of finances, not because of, I can see abusive parents, but I've always been a loving parent to this kid. I mean, anybody that knows me knows these kids are my world. This is the reason I'm fighting so hard. And they know abuse is never even in the radar or any kind of nothing. And the kids know it. I know it. Everybody around me knows it. She knows it. But it's whatever excuse, because now it's supposedly my mom. She don't want them to see my mom. Whatever excuse to not allow these kids to be part of my life because she thinks she's hurting me. She's hurting them. She's hurting me, but I'm here fighting. My kids, they're confused. It's like, why is daddy not around? Who knows what they're being told? So, fathers, you're out there. By the way, my podcast is dropping. I had my first interview today with a dad, and there's so many stories. It's not just me. I'm realizing this is a big issue. This is more common than it should be, and more common than we know. And a lot of us keep it quiet. But that's where I'm at. Hopefully it gets resolved.